Right, well, Tilo Falava, and good morning, bikers, bike tourers, CB500 riders, adventure bike riders, whatever floats your boat, if you'll pardon the pun. So this should be day 2 of my ABR Adventure Bike Rider Southeast Tour. So day 1 was yesterday, did about 150 miles. It was roughly sort of from the west side of London, sort of more or less straight down past Gatwick and past some points of interest, Box Hill, Ditchling Beacon, and then down to Brighton, where I've never been before, but it's quite an interesting spot. Anyway, the rest of the tour then turns off and goes east right across to Folkestone, and it looks quite interesting. There's a few spots there I actually really want to go to, but it was a very long day to do the whole thing from home, and I needed to go to Southampton, which is the other way, so I broke off there. I've been in Southampton tonight, and I have what you call a 0 hours contract. When work pops up, it pops up, and someone's popped into my inbox, so I'll zip on home today, but I thought I'd stop here just on the way out. So this is Calshot Castle, just at the entrance to the Solent, so on the west side entrance to the Solent. Quite a pleasant place to come, whether on your bike or in your car or whatever. It's one of these shingle beaches, but it's nice on a nice day, and there's a few points of interest that we'll talk about shortly. Anyway, that's the Isle of Wight on the far side there, and that's one of the research vessels from the Marine Institute down here, heading off to who knows where. Right, so not been here before on my bike, but that's quite clear. Motorcycles are free. What I don't know is whether the barrier lifts for a bike without seeing your number plate, or whether you're supposed to go around the side. However, it is clear, bikes is free, right? So that's fine. Okay, so on this day the barrier lifted for the bike despite not having a front number plate. So that was good. If you stick around and stay tuned though, you'll find out that getting out was not quite so easy. Right, so this place is an old castle, which you might be able to just see. The harbour control, and a bunch of hangars which are now repurposed as an activity centre, with all sorts of good things in there, including I think climbing walls, and I think there's an indoor velodrome. I'm not sure if that's what you call an indoor velodrome, but cafe. Ooh, hello. You'll see the main building is called the Sunderland Hangar, and there's a reason for that, and that is that this used to be a big Sunderland flying boat base. I guess they flew off the Solent or the water, And that's what the hangars that are now used for the activity centre used to be used for. You can see I'll be able to see the stylised flying boats down there. And along with that, the other point of interest out of this is I think many of the early flying boat aircraft were designed around here. And of course, one of them became the Supermarine Spitfire, which I think the predecessor was a racing flying boat of all things. And I'm not sure, but Google will tell us, I'm sure. I think the Schneider trophy was something they were competing for when they were building the prototype that eventually became the Spitfire. So if you're into aviation, there's a few interesting information boards around here about the background of the place. It's just a bit of a vista from the point, the castle, and that's the Southampton water there, going out to the Solent, Isle of Wight, bright February sun. And this is the other side of the big hangars. Now you might be able to see these picnic tables down there. I don't know if the door's open there at the moment, but for those who like to come for a coffee stop somewhere at the end of the ride, it's an interesting walk. It's a good place because there is of course the obligatory cafe in there. Okay, so that's a quick look around Calshot Castle on a relatively chilly February day, but as always it's quite a pleasant spot to visit. Right, so the next trick, not having been on my bike before, is how to get out of the place. Right, so I think that this is made for bikes, isn't it? That's why they've got motorcycle on it. But just a word of warning, so I'm on a lowered CB500X with panniers on, but they're quite small and compact panniers, 22 litres a side, and they sit inside my handlebars. If you're on a high adventure bike, especially with big panniers, you may well have struggled to get out of there, so just take a note if you've got a particularly big bike. Anyway, that was a quick trip to Calshot. If you're looking for a place to ride down in Southampton and you don't know it, it's always good for a quick visit. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'll sign off now. Ciao for now. Talk to you next time.